Okay, what's up, you guys? As always, I hope you're doing well. And real quick, I just wanted to make this supplementary video for the tutorial that I posted earlier in regards to drawing the lower back. Ronald Cypress, shout out to you, bro. You requested I know you requested a video. Sorry, about the lower back. But I had this idea for this tutorial. It's just something like a technique that I did back when I was like learning how to draw the back, and I just figured I'd make like a quick tutorial about it, and then do a video, kind of showing you guys how I implement this technique. And so that's what this video is going to be about. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to read what I said on the tutorial, and then I'll show you, or rather I'll just kind of like elaborate on what I said. So to start off, I think this is the first page, and it says, so I say, something I personally like to do when drawing the lower back is picturing as if this hexagonal shape was placed right in the center of the lumbar region. And so what I mean by hexagonal shape is this shape, of course. Then I go on to say the slopes on both the top and the bottom of this shape help me to place the lats and the butt. Okay. Now, of course, in the second page, I elaborate further on that top half when I say the idea here is that the slope at the top of the hexagon shape runs parallel runs parallel to the angle of the bottom of the lat. And so the bottom of the lat, so of course, right, if this part right here, oh, hold up, here we go. So if this part is the top of the lat, then of course this would be the bottom of the lat. As I highlighted in blue, that's kind of what I hoped you guys would get from that. But so anyway, so when I say the slope of the top of the hexagon shape, it means if I drew the hexagon, wait, not like that, like this top pointy bit, right, this part is the slope that I'm talking about. That's what I mean when I say slope. I didn't know what else to call it. I didn't want to say like a 2/3 of a triangle part. That would be like way too, just, that's really extra, I felt. So I just said the slope. And so what did I say here? So I said it runs parallel to the angle of the bottom of the lat. So that means that if I drew the hexagon, and if, actually, let me make this in black, and then I can use red for later. Okay. So when I say it runs parallel, I mean that if I kind of just extended this line, so if say I just kept going with that line and didn't stop there, that's what I mean when it runs parallel. So if I just kept going, then that would be the line that makes the lat. Well, actually, hold on. So if I kind of just continued here, then eventually, oh wow, I got a new patron. Look at that. I'll have to thank them later. Shout out to you, Tony. Thank you so much. But so anyway, if I was just to continue with this drawing here, then eventually, you know, you kind of like get the idea. I get the rest of the body. So this kind of Oh, no wonder. Whoa. No wonder the pen was acting weird. Let me do this on another layer. Okay. And so if I did it in a different angle, like not just straight, so if I kind of just like made a hexagon and it's like curved or something like this, then I feel like at that point it would still work the same. Oh wow, I got another patron. What the hell, you guys? That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna have to, shout out to you, bro. It was too fast. I didn't see your name, but I'm gonna thank you later. But so anyway, damn, I didn't even remember what I was saying. Oh, okay, yeah, I do remember. Let me do another hexagon. Damn, my chair is really squeaking right now. Anyway. Okay, you know what? Let me try to exaggerate this a bit so it's not as uniform. There we go. There, so a really curvy hexagon, I think it would still work the same. So if I did it like this. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I think that kind of trick holds up even here. Okay, yeah. Bet. Now obviously you can see the hexagon is way big on this example. And it's very exaggerated. I will say this. I'll say this about this technique here. It is really, I would, ow, I just hit my elbow so hard, you guys. I'll say that this hexagon kind of technique is, I was gonna say it's more prone to like, or more useful for like a beginner or like an intermediate kind of artist, only because it's a shape that's like very recognizable, and it's also really like clear to see. And actually I have the page over here, which is that I say an alternate shape you can use that will work the same way is a diamond shape. And I would actually say that this diamond shape is probably more accurate to like a real depiction of the way that the lats sit on the body. The lats actually sit maybe lower on the body than how it's depicted here. So when I say so if this was the bottom of the lat would actually sit somewhere like down here, more realistically. And so you might be asking yourself, okay, well, if that's the case, then why are you telling us to do it this way? And the reason is just only because if you're learning, right, and you're kind of, I know for me at least, speaking personally, that when I was learning, it was kind of hard to wrap my brain around like all of the connection points, how every muscle connected together. And so when I saw it in a very geometrically obvious way, so like if this was like its own shape here, and then the lats were like their own shape, right? Sort of like if you were doing a breakdown of shapes. This to me was way easier to replicate because they're just shapes, you know. It's like without thinking, I could just kind of draw all of these shapes by themselves, and I would get what looks like the back. So without having any knowledge, if I just drew you know, a hexagon. I know this doesn't work because I have the knowledge, right? But so just kind of to explain, if I just drew a hexagon and then just drew the other shape, and then I connected this, so that would be this shape. And then made that shape. If I kind of, I wonder if this is even going to work. Oh yeah, okay, so if I did that and duplicated that and pushed it over to the other side, I would have more or less, right, what looks like the back of a person. Okay, those are some really wide legs. Let me not. Okay, yeah. So more or less, that's kind of why I decided to do this tutorial, or to show you that first and then the diamond shape, because this, I feel like this one, this depiction of it rather is it's a little easier to replicate for a beginner slash intermediate artist, and it's not while it may be slightly inaccurate as far as the placement of the muscles themselves, it's still, you know, when obviously your figures aren't going to have all of these shapes blocked out. It's going to be like you know, in the finished product, it's not going to look like that, like this. Of course, it's going to be just like, you know, like that. You're not going to have all of those shapes blocked in, but so as long as when you do block in those shapes, that it creates this figure in the end, that is what I feel like, that's what I feel doing it that way is valuable to you, because it'll help you like get used to the contour of what the back looks like. And so what do I have here? Okay, so I say conversely, oh yeah, this is after this page, right? If I'm not mistaken. It is, okay. So I say conversely, the bottom of the slope of the hexagon shape will act as the sacrum, the triangle shape that fits right in your lower back. And so of course I have this little diagram here. The sacrum is, it's like, it's part of your pelvis, and it's like the part, you know, obviously, right, it's the part that connects to your spine. And it also creates, if you've ever seen like a person with back dimples, that is part of the sacrum. That's what those back dimples are depicting. It's like the back dimple would be this point and this point. And so of course you can't see that triangle. That's what those back dimples are showing you, basically. And so the bottom of that hexagon shape, it's since the sacrum is a triangle, if we kind of chopped it off like I did here, we'd have a triangle, and that fits right into what would otherwise be the placement of the sacrum. And so if I kind of here we go. Damn. So if I had the hexagon, if that was the lat, then this would be, this is the sacrum, right? The triangle. Oh yeah, and then I should probably mention this one right here. The tip of the triangle will give you the point where the gluteal cleft, which is like the, you know, medically, air quote, medically correct terminology, but of course, it's the butt crack will go down. So now I have these little depictions. Of course, when I say the point, I mean the pointy bit at the bottom of that triangle, which is right here, right? If you extended a line down from that point, it'll be the butt crack. And that works for different angles. If we had a more slanted angle from this point, you would get the crack, or at least that part of it. And then in order for, at least for me, in order to find the opposite end, you're not going to do this. All right, that would be wrong, first of all, and it looks really weird. So how I find the other side is I'm going to follow this line of the triangle and kind of come out like this. Same thing to find the width of this. I remember I put a tutorial up about drawing the butt like earlier. I don't remember what month it was, but what I said there is it's almost the same as drawing like a bird. You know, if you've ever drawn like the sun, clouds or whatever, and then like birds like this. That is how I draw the top of the butt. So it would be like a bird. This would be the triangle of the sacrum. It comes down, and then that's how I find like the width of the butt. And then if this was like the triangle, the lat, and then I'd kind of just like connect the top to the bottom here. And that's like how I find all the like places to put everything. I think that's like this page that no, not that one. This page. So I said once you have all the pieces there, all that would be left is to connect the top and the bottom in whatever way makes sense depending on the pose. And I say, what I mean when I say whatever way that makes sense, I mean like if you're drawing a figure that's like, you know, it's not in a neutral position. It's like if they were kind of outstretched. Then it'd be like this side, just connect it like here, and while here you can see it almost looks like I'm connecting it right at the bottom of the lat. If I did this, I don't think that would look quite right. So it'd be like more up here. Maybe not, maybe just below that. So you can see that that line that I just put over there is much longer than the one that I put, or that I used to connect this side, you know, because the body is scrunched on this side of the body as opposed to this side. Right, so that's depending on the pose, you can just use whatever lines are necessary. Right, I don't even know what this figure's doing. Maybe they're like fencing or something. Or whatever, you get the idea, right? And so yeah, so okay, so the diamond shape, it works the same. Works the same way. So what I mean by diamond shape, Let me make another, here we go. If I drew the diamond, then what I mean when it works the same is that the slope, the top half, so let's, if this was like, you know, split in half, the top half would be the lat. It would run parallel to the lat. And the bottom half would be like the sacrum. Maybe I should use a darker color than that. I'll just go with black. And the point there at the bottom, that's where the crack will come out of. And you can connect either side as necessary. And that's how you would find that. And so also one thing that the diamond is really good for is it also connects very well into the trapezius muscle. So the trapezius is that big muscle right at the center of your upper back that comes down. It's almost like a triangle. I think in a interview that I had shared earlier, I likened it to like a stingray or like a kite. So that's the trap, and then like the muscles would, or the muscles, the shoulders, the deltoids would be somewhere in here. And then the lat, but so, okay. What I wanted to say is that if I did like a funnel almost, so if I did this and I came down to a point, at this point I'd go out again, so the opposite, and then that would give me the top half of the diamond. And then of course you could put the bottom of the diamond right below it. And then that would be, it's like you drew the trapezius and the diamond sort of with the same line. If you did it with, you know, with the same line, it'd be like this and like that. Wait, no. The trap up here, the diamond right here, and then you'd kind of connect them however, you know, however you see fit in this case. That's kind of like how a trick that I use for drawing the lower back with a diamond shape. And so yeah, that's kind of like the idea that I of the diamond shape. That's kind of how I would use it in practice. And I also have this picture here. I forget if I showed you already. But you can see that this is kind of like how the lats are depicted in a more, like I said earlier, like a medically correct diagram. You can see like it's more similar to the diamond shape here anyway. So oh wait, maybe I should lower the opacity. Okay, finally. So you can see it's more like a diamond in the accurate depiction, and you can see like how far down the lats actually connect. So if this was the bird here, I use a different color. If this was like the little bird for their butt in this in this diagram, you can see like the lat almost connects directly onto the butt or that bird. Of course, mine is like way lower, but that's only because it's filled out like this. And so if I try to fit in the hexagon shape, it would probably be more just kind of like this. Sort of like that. And then like here you can see where the lat would like come out of. Hopefully you're able to tell if this shape isn't like as messy as it is right now. So yeah. Did I leave out any page? No, I think, yeah. Okay, cool. So I think that was all of it. And yeah, I think that's gonna be the end of this video. I kind of just wanted to explain really quick how I applied everything, and so that you could see how I would go about drawing everything, like in what steps I would use to map everything out. Weird looking guy, but anyway. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the video. I hope this was insightful to you along with the tutorial. And this actually wasn't that long this time. I can't believe it. I'm under an hour here. But anyway, I'm trying to think if that one. Okay, yeah, that is everything. Okay, you guys, I will see you in the next one.